So I'm attending a RELC International Conference, and these are the venue.
Pandemic world, global, local, and local perspectives.
It's a great pleasure for us to once again host this conference in person. The last 2 years have been quite challenging for many of us.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, happy to see you all here. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Afif Ikhwan Muslimin, and currently I should thank the LPDP or Lembaga Pengelola Dana Pendidikan because they support me to attend the on-site presentations in Singapore here. So, well, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned by my professor, this is a small slice that this is part of an article that already been published in Contemporary Educational and Technology Journal, and it focuses on two variables. That is about TPEC summer digital literacy and also techno-stress. As we know, following the introductions by the Minister of Education of Singapore, mentioning that the technology nowadays become very pivotal to support educations because they believe that technology can speed up the educational process, including to access the digital resources and also to support the virtuality as we had before. Previously, we had COVID-19 pandemic while the online teaching and learning should be conducted. And also, as we know that technology can improve the engagement and communication network between teachers, students, and also between academicians and scholars. However, some of the academicians in my country, Indonesia, they consider themselves as tech-savvy, while the other are not. However, this is a kind of demand and a kind of urge that the academicians and the educational institutions to prepare the younger generations to be competitive in globalization's era. So they have to be able to equip themselves with digital literacy skills, as it is part of the 21st century education's trend and also the introductions of industrial revolutions 4.0 and 5.0. Therefore, the teacher itself, as one of the source of knowledge and also the triggering factors to improve the quality of education, should equip themselves with the technology. They should be literate and competent. Then, according to the expert, what is called as digital literacy, it is about the general ability to use computer and also like including the word processing and also doing a data software. However, regarding this is about the lecturer or the academician, what is called as digital literate lecturers. So it's about choosing an appropriate technology to support a particular objective of teaching. So they should mix and match which technology can be used appropriately to support my teaching. As mentioned by previously, this previous speaker, Mr. Singh also say that no shoes fits all. So it means that you have to choose the best technology suiting your instructional objective. And the last one, what is called as digital competence, because some experts say that literacy is not enough, but they have to have kind of competence. So it relates to understanding on specific knowledge and attitudes about legal and ethical issues, privacy and security. So the teachers is not merely targeting the object of teaching, but they should also consider about avoiding violating the rules and law or maybe violating someone's privacy. So they have to teach and educate the students to use the technology in sensible and healthy way. And then, according to the Indonesia research and survey conducted by Media Indonesia and also Kemkominfo or Ministry of Communications and Information Indonesia, the result of the survey related to the digital literacy competence of academicians is about a moderate level from the scale of 1 till 5. So the score was like that one. So the result of this survey showing that there is kind of urge to improve the Indonesians' digital literacy, especially for educational system. And also related to our previous studies that already been also published in journal, showing that the pre-service teachers' digital literacy competence was not really good, especially in, according to TPEC self-efficacy survey, the result was not really satisfactory because of they consider themselves were low in technological knowledge, especially when it is mingled with other components of TPEC like pedagogical knowledge and content knowledge. So they were confident with the content, but not really confident with the technological knowledge. Therefore, as they should provide more meaningful and more beneficial educational process to the students. So as a future teacher, the pre-service teacher, and also nowadays we have the lecturers, should improve their digital literacy because it can influence the teaching performance and also the outcome of the education that is about the students. And according to Rosa and Sanchez-Cruzedo, mentioning that digital literacy level can reflect the teacher's professionalism, because when the teachers understand the technology, it helps them to prepare the future teaching. They can plan what is best technology equipped for teaching. They can plan the time or maybe the strategy which is applicable by improving the technology to support the teaching. And also it can scaffold teachers' skill in crisis teaching time, like creating more communicative teaching and learning process with the technology. And moreover, it enables a teacher to design more meaningful scenario, because using the technology help the teachers to access more authentic materials. It can help the teachers to provide more engaging teaching and learning process. And according to the study conducted by Shen and Michel 2020, mentioning that there have been a lot of technology integrations model has been introduced, like PICRAT, and then SMART, and then also TPEC also, and then we have TEAM and so on. However, they propose only these two technological integrational model that is called as TPEC and SUMMER because of 4 reasons. The first, because of the aesthetic elements that interact many researchers and academicians to follow these steps, because as we know that TPEC contains of 3 major domains, that the components of the domains can be a kind of indicator to show that teachers can mingle each domain and implement it into the classroom. And also for SUMMER, and SUMMER contains of substitutions, augmentations, modifications, and redefinitions. It is developed in levels, in stages. So starting from substituting from the material, for example, from the paper base into the electronic base, and then changing into more meaningful aspect to augment the functions of the technology itself, and then goes to modifying the technology's functions to be more complicated and redefining the functions of the original technology with mingling to another technology. I will show you it later. And then it is also become more popular of technology integration model compared to another model. And also it is widely adopted to assess GLC itself. So this is the picture of the models. As we can see here, as I mentioned, that there are 4 stages here, starting from substitution. So in modifications, technology allows for more significant task redesign. For example, when we have a Google map. So when the teacher changes the original map, the paper map, into Google map, so it starts from, it is in substitutions level. Then when the teacher start to introduce the Google map, when we open the Google map, sometimes we find some local mark buildings, and it can help the students to learn the vocabulary there. So we start to augment the functions of the technology. While the teacher start to introduce the Google map, learn the vocabulary, then the teacher trigger the students to learn how to give the directions, like in procedure text, for example, or maybe speaking about how to go from this place to another place. So they start to modify the functions of the Google map into something more meaningful. And moreover, when the teachers start to combine the Google map with, for example, A2Flow or maybe Instagram or something else, and they start to share the result of their performance through writing or reading or speaking in Google Maps, so it goes to redefinitions. And then, however, in Indonesia context, the rapid development of technology sometimes creating stress, because a lot of new technology comes to the teachers' classroom, for example. Maybe some teachers say that the students is more knowledgeable than the teacher itself regarding the technology. Therefore, they experience kind of stress, and it is called as techno stress. According to Kim and Lee, it is about the stress that is caused by the using digital technology to accomplish a task. And according to their framework, there are 5 factors that cause the techno stress related to techno overload, techno invasion, techno complexity, techno insecurity, and techno uncertainty. Then, what are those components? So, techno overload relates to the increased employee work due to the use of new technology. Sometimes the teachers, previously in conventional teaching, they just work from morning to the afternoon. However, after the sophisticated technology introduced, they have to work till at night. Though they are still chit-chatting with their family, sometimes they still open maybe LMS or what is that called as school management system or something else to check the students' work. Techno invasions, the blurring of the lines between social and professional life due to longer work hours and connectedness. So here sometimes the teachers, what is that, social life and then also another activities are also impacted, invaded by the activities of the introduction of technology. Sometimes they are still having kind of connectedness with their friends in social media. However, because of these techno invasions, they have to answer the students' reply, answer students' questions through WhatsApp or something else. So this one, it also creates kind of stress for the teacher. And also techno complexity. It is about the lack of the adequate skill and knowledge to use the new technology. As we know that very huge, introductions of technology nowadays. Sometimes when we start to search for example, educations for teaching reading, we can find a lot in Google. So it means that sometimes it's hard for us to learn one by one, especially if we do not have any teacher there. And techno insecurity.
Can you move to message?
Okay.
This time is almost up.
Thank you. So, and there has been some studies related to techno stress, and the method that I implemented to scrutinize these variables are correlational descriptive study, because I would like to know the correlation between the 2 variables, and the participants are simulators from 6 different universities and 6 cities in Indonesia. And I employed the questionnaire from both variables, and then I analyzed the scores, and also I did the correlations through the statistical calculations, and the results are like this. According to the participants' response, so 3 participants admitted that they had moderate category, and the other 3 were in high category of DLC. These findings explains that 50% of the participants doubted their digital literacy competence. Their participants needed to be more confident in redefining technology for teaching EFL, and it was shown by the item number 20. So the more sophisticated applications of technology, the lower they score themselves in DLC level. And finally, the overall lectures TPEC Summer DLC was in a high category with the average score of 3.47. And then regarding to the techno stress survey result, 2 participants who experienced low techno stress, 2 experienced moderate techno stress, and the rest had high techno stress. And especially for the item number 12, 15, 16, 17, and 19, they were in the high category of techno stress. It relates to not confident with their technological competence, hardly followed the rapid development of digital technology, and their works lately were influenced a lot by the internet. The participant jealousy toward their colleagues' better technology literacy competence also increased their techno stress, and they felt pressurized when their colleagues were able to operate technology better. So, according to some experts in the published article, say that techno jealousy sometimes create kind of internal motivations to learn more. However, if it is over-generated, so it becomes a bad to the productivity of the institutions. So this one, the jealousy also becomes a negative factor for techno stress. And according to this finding, so the 3 main factors contributing to the techno stress are techno complexity, techno insecurity, and techno uncertainty. So this finding also show a little bit different finding from the previous studies. And according to the correlational study and doing statistical correlation, the result shows that there is negative correlations between the variables, and the lower the lecture time of stress and the higher the lecturer's TLC. And then regarding to the strengths, it shows a very high correlational strength with the score minus 0.824. And then according to this study, we point some ideas there. The first is the participants were in high category of TLC, but low of TK compared to CK and PK. And it is relevant with our previous studies that already also been published in World Journal of English Language. And then also, the more sophisticated the digital technology functioning, according to Summer stage, the lower the participants' TLC score, because they have to try to redefine the functions of technology. And this study enriches ideas that different study contexts could provide different findings. As I mentioned, that the result of this study shows different factors contributing to the technostress itself, because actually the context of this study is conducted in different islands with the previous studies. And then comparing the technostress item score, the participant professional jealousy become most contributing technostress factor, but professional jealousy could increase participant motivations. And then, because of strong relationship, we would like to deliver some opinions and ideas like technostress can be a factor that influence lecturers' TLC. Therefore, minimizing the lecturer's technostress can trigger their intentions to develop their TLC. We recommend that the university can initiate teacher professional development program to increase the lecturer's TLC and minimize technostress. And ELC lecturers' professional knowledge and technology teaching practice that appear in summer are tuned. Here, as I mentioned before, that technostress can also influence the TLC, and TLC can also influence their professionalism and also impact to the students' outcome. However, more sophisticated and comprehensive understanding about the triggering factors to influence technostress itself and also the TLC is needed. And for the conclusion, we can say that EFL lecturers' TLC was correlated negatively with the lecturer's technostress. Therefore, we propose the further investigations with more participants and variables to comprehensively understand the factors affecting TLC and technostress. Also, inserting each participant teaching context to scrutinize the obtained data would open a better understanding of the reason behind it.